Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to NS9 Live. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Jim. We have Tyler. Folks, it is Wednesday night. How you both doing?
I'm doing awesome. Apparently, my camera is the only one that decides to work all the time, too, around here.
I'm just going to freeze. No, I'm
freezing. I'm learning this.
I would like to tell you why I was really late to this, but I know it's embarrassing. But I'll tell you anyhow. My mouse here, and this is why with me. I hadn't charged it since like June, dude. It wasn't working tonight. So I've got a mouse that's currently plugged in. I can't really use my computer, but thankfully I got to the StreamYard.
There you go.
Both of you need to upgrade your internet too.
Well,
you know what? If DiNardo, if both of us are down, maybe it's a him problem.
First off, don't refer to Jim as him ever.
Well,
he is not
a him problem.
Mm-mm. Just a he problem.
Because you look fine to me.
Well, thank you.
You guys
it's
are
probably because my beard's coming back, but I appreciate that.
I got you, boo-boo.
Thank you, sweetie. Anyways, before that gets too off the tracks, we do have a big show lined up. A lot of stuff happening. We have a new segment we're going to introduce. That's going to be probably way more off the tracks than what this is. So buckle up. But then we're going to bring Alex Stumpf on from MLB.com, Pirates beat reporter. He had some interesting things to say about Andrew McCutchen, which Andrew McCutchen had some interesting things to say in return. So we're going to hear his perspective on the whole situation. And then ESPN had a bunch of trade propositions, I guess, and what could happen, this and that. And the Pirates were listed on essentially every single hitter. So we'll talk about those as well. But I feel like we should go ahead and introduce the brand new segment that we've actually had in our back pocket for like 2 months. I feel like we just keep forgetting about it.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, here it is.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
So, folks, we have the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your entire life, ever, lined up. And so what we're going to do on every NS9 Live going forward is we have a wheel. We have a wheel of people related to the Pirates in some sense. Could be players, former players, prospects, beat writers, national in some sense. We're going to ask them a really stupid question live on air. We're going to text them, DM them, however it is. Right, so that we already have the question selected. We have a wheel that's going to randomize it live on air. The wheel will select who we're going to text, and we'll text them the question. And we're hoping that we're going to get a live response on air to tell you what their answer was.
What the answer is, yeah. I'm excited about this because there is a wide variety of names on this wheel. Everyone on this wheel, I think everyone knows who they are, but it's also completely random people. And we're just going to ask them a really stupid question. And we're going to see if they answer us while we're live. If they're live, we'll read it. If they don't, then you know what? They're dead to us.
Correct. Absolutely dead. And I will say all of them we've had some form of contact with, at least, except for one. We have our golden goose, I guess, on there. If she responds to us, and we'll break the internet. I think you can determine who that is. But with that being said, should we do it?
Let's bring the wheel up. Yeah, bring the wheel up.
So we have ourselves
There's lots of names on here. You can't even see all these names.
You really can't. I wish there was a better presentation for this. This is one of the downsides of StreamYard, I guess. But yeah, as you can see, there is a plethora of names here. So I assume we should spin it.
Yeah, go ahead and spin it.
Oh, dear Lord. Who's it going to be?
I want it to be Robbie.
Better not be Andrew McCutchen.
It's Pirates prospect Antoine Kelly.
All right.
This is actually, yeah, I mean, so Antoine Kelly is currently, I believe, in the Bahamas, just judging by his Instagram. And yeah, I mean, he's what, the number 6 Pirates prospect? No, number 7 Pirates prospect according to Baseball America. Is that right?
He's moving up.
I believe he's top 10.
Number 7. Yeah, number 7. Just added to the 40-man roster. I mean, he's on the major league roster.
By the
So
way,
what
I'm
are we
on
asking
talking.
Antoine Kelly tonight, guys?
By the way, currently showing online.
Are who sending it? Are you sending it?
Yeah, I'll just send it because you're talking.
Okay.
We should add a second wheel to determine who has to send it.
All right. So what are you sending? What are you asking Antoine Kelly, DiNardo? Stupid
Antoine
random
Kelly.
question.
You know what I want to know? You know what's on my mind that I want to know, Antoine Kelly? How many ducks would it take to distract you from an important conversation? Being
There
in
we
the
go.
Bahamas, I assume
that's a pretty
probably not
stupid
many
question.
ducks.
They have tons of ducks in the Bahamas.
Always distracting.
I don't think.
Hopefully
any
not from
ducks-
his pitching.
Okay, so now we need to put the FanDuel odds on an Antoine Kelly
There
answer.
we go.
Does Antoine Kelly answer us during this show? I'm going to say let's go ahead and say Antoine Kelly answers our question while we're live.
They're 1-to-1 odds, right? It's guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's like even odd. No, I'm going to even say like minus 250.
I'm gonna say plus 200.
We're getting an answer.
I don't think so.
Again, he is online currently.
Yeah.
So we're gonna find
know
out
what?
if we get ghosted. Now, if we get left on scene, now I got issues. Antoine Kelly, you're like the number 17th prospect in my mind.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like minus 200. We get Antoine Kelly to respond to us.
I might bump up to plus 250. Because if I am Antoine Kelly and I get that DM, you're getting blocked.
That's
If I'm
Folks on
chilling
deck
in the
says, what's the
Bahamas,
line
I
on
am
getting
blocked.
So
blocked?
the line on him answering minus 200, line on blocking. I don't think he's going to block us. I'll say like plus 1,000. He blocks us.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting blocked.
No, we're not getting blocked.
Probably not blocked, but
All right.
there are odds there.
Anyways, while we wait on that response, and DiNardo, keep an eye out. I've got it ready too. So,
And I'll tell you what, before you go there, just because we have
Yeah.
someone asked, and again, if you just didn't hear, the question that is being asked is how many ducks would it take to distract you from an important conversation? That's the burning question that we have for Antoine Kelly as he's currently doing his offseason throwing program.
it's an important question.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, if you're in the chat, and you can answer that question as well. But while we're waiting on a response, do we go ahead and bring on our guest?
Let's
to.
go ahead and do that.
I wouldn't have came back if I didn't believe in the team, if I didn't believe in what was around and what we have coming and what we have here. And it's just about getting little pieces here and there. And I'm so happy that I can be a part of it and be one of those pieces like I was a long time ago.
So joining us is Alex Stumpf, the man, the myth, the legend, the person that stirred up all this bullshit. So welcome, Alex. How's it going?
Hey, happy to be your Antoine Kelly time killer here. So,
Alex, do you think Antoine Kelly answers our question?
no, and no. I do appreciate. I saw the list. I do appreciate that I was the first guy on the list. If the wheel ever lands on me, I'm gonna send you a picture of a sandwich.
Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna do what I do to Steigerwald.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
what you
Yeah.
used to do,
Used
What
to.
I used to do back when I had a Twitter account. Yes.
Welcome to Blue Sky, him.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to become like a blue sky power user going forward, I guess. But anyways, Alex, thanks for hopping on here. I think you were just having a friendly Reddit AMA the other day, and DiNardo decided to use one of your answers on a graphic, which then Andrew McCutchen somehow saw, and he chirped back. So now we've got a little bit of a story on our hands. So shout out to you for starting some drama, Alex. But
I would say DiNardo did, but all right.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of more of a
weren't
DiNardo.
his words. They were
Definitely
not
more of a
DiNardo's
DiNardo.
I get it, but I mean, it feels like a quarter of Cutch's
Reddit AMA.
a quarter of Cutch's tweets are responding to you guys. Like I don't know how.
Honestly,
I don't know
what is actually kind of funny is since the season ended, he's tweeted twice and they're both at us.
Yes.
That's it. And
it's just flat back. Nice
both
season,
times,
guys.
Yeah, both times it was just DiNardo making a graphic that a Pittsburgh media member said. So the first one was Mackey with a quote, and then this one with yours. So, but yeah, let's kind of let's just talk
real quick though. Also,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
I understand you're giving me so much hate, but can we also commend me? I did spell everything correct this time, at least.
You spelled everything
this
correct.
time when the tweet blew up, it wasn't with like grammatical errors and.
You're right. You didn't use like Beasley's photo instead of mine, so it's.
That's a good point. A good point. You did use all the proper spelling.
He did, and he also like.
That was quick.
We got a new record.
That's the first time ever we've got a new record. That took him what, like 4 minutes to respond?
When did I send this? 9:09. 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Antoine Kelly. Shout out Antoine Kelly. 6 minutes. Maybe he was thinking about the question for 6 minutes.
Probably. I mean,
what's the answer?
Yeah, what's
so
the answer?
Is ha 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 ha. Probably 3.
That's
so
fair.
It takes 3 ducks.
That's
for
it.
Antoine Kelly to get distracted in an important conversation.
That's not a lot of ducks, to be honest.
It's not a lot.
I'd probably need like 11 or 12 ducks.
I think my line's 4, so I'm on the same wavelength here.
Okay.
I
Ducks
think
are awesome.
I need more context. What kind of conversation am I having?
It's a serious conversation. Yeah.
Well, then I need like 20 ducks. If it's a conversation with Alex, I need 1.
Well, that was a smashing success of a segment, I think.
That was good. I felt like we could have
good.
asked a question of, would you like to fight? Never mind.
3 ducks.
Alex Stumpf? Yes.
Okay. So we got a little derailed there. Shout out Antoine Kelly. Antoine Kelly's my new favorite player. But as far as let's set this up. All right. You're doing the Reddit AMA, Alex. A high school kid asks you, do you think Cutch is coming back? Reddit user Rare Economics 8427. You say, right now I'm leaning towards Cutch not coming back. He and the organization had some level of frustration with each other this year, and I've had several people in the organization opine the last few years that he shouldn't be playing every day anymore. He wants to play and he wants to win. I don't know if there's an opportunity for him to do both that is better than in Pittsburgh, so we'll have to see. So, DiNardo goes out and puts a graphic together that says, right now I'm leaning towards Andrew McCutchen not coming back. And the caption is, in a Reddit AMA, MLB's Alex Stumpf was asked if he thinks Cutch is coming back. Due to frustrations on both sides, he says he is leaning towards no return. And then Andrew McCutchen, for the second time this offseason, tweets at DiNardo, wow, that's news to me.
How about that?
So, I guess as far as frustrations on both sides, you talked about, and and we might go into like details or anything, but what was so frustrating on both sides, I guess?
I mean, I think on Cutch's side, he was very vocal whenever he came here. He didn't want just, this grand farewell tour. Like, he wasn't here to just be, a figurehead or whatever. He wanted to win. And that's why whenever he saw this team come in 2022, 2023, he's like, this team's closer than I think a lot of people give him credit for. And I can understand frustrations on his part of, okay, the 2 off seasons after that return, you really didn't do all that much to supplement the roster, and this team kind of stagnated for 2 years. So I could see that being a frustration on his part. I've also been kind of vocal that this team needs a leader on the hitting side. I don't know if he really ever was, that really embraced that type of thing that I think a lot of people thought he was going to be whenever he came back. So there were definitely some frustrations on both sides, not to the point that, it's irreconcilable. And I start off by saying I lean towards no right now. And I think the fact that the Pirates are connected to guys like Schwarber, who is a DH only, kind of tells you they're not all in on Cutch right now. So we're going to see how the offseason plays. If he does return to Pittsburgh, I think he would be signing late in the offseason cycle. But right now, I would lean towards him not returning. He wants to play every day. That's fine. He wants to win. That's fine. I don't know if he's going to be able to, find a contending team that sees a guy who at age 39 coming off of his worst statistical season of his career and think, yeah, that's my DH, to get my team over the hump. So we're going to kind of see how this offseason plays out. But yeah, that was fun to see. I finally got flamed by 22. It was a long time coming, huh?
Well, that's why I find it interesting, though, too, because like how he says it's news to me. And I mean, the last that you really heard of Andrew McCutchen was him talking of basically like, what are we doing here? I've been here for 3 years. We're spinning the wheels. Where are we going? Like, I want to win. I want to be here, and I want to do both. So, like, I don't know what's in my future, but I know what I want to do. Like, it felt like he left the scene basically saying, like, you guys better show me you're going to do something here if you want me back. And that's what I was talking about before. It's like, the one thing that he has is some type of a voice. And if he's going to show some leadership type of sense, like, that's what he can do. Like, that's the type of pressure he can put on the front office if he's going to. He's going to more or less threaten them, like, you better do something if you want me back. So it's like he leaves the season on that note. So it makes me feel, like what you said, like, I'm with you. I don't know if this marriage is as close as it used to be. So I'm not sure if it's given. And like you said, Schwarber's out there, Polanco, like a lot of guys that played the DH position, or a lot of guys that might have the versatility and being DH and somewhere else too. It's like, I don't think the Pirates are showing that they're fully on him either. So it's like, I didn't think this quote was out of line by any sense. So Cutch, what are you talking about?
I don't know. He's entitled to his opinion. If he felt I misrepresented something, that is fine. That's his opinion. He's on the record expressing a lot of frustration over this year, and people pressing at the end, either like whatever he says, I want to play again in 2026. They're like, with Pittsburgh, he's like, maybe, more or less. That's paraphrased on my part, but he's on the record really,
I can't wait to take that as a quote graphic.
I swear to God, Tyler. So,
I mean, you said it.
No, but he was on the record expressing a lot of frustration, which is fine. I'm not knocking that. Can't pretend that it didn't happen, though.
Yeah, no, I think it was. I thought it was interesting that he worded it that way because, like, this wasn't really that big a news. Like when you said it in the Reddit AMA, it was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. That's what we've been hearing. So it was a funny response. It's now. I think Andrew McCutchen would love to play in Pittsburgh in 2026. I think the Pirates would like to figure out a way to make it happen, but like it's going to have to fit in with the plan of this team. And like I've said multiple times this offseason, like I think there's room to bring Andrew McCutchen back next year. Like this team, again, like with 26-man rosters, like you can you can have guys who don't necessarily play every day or all that versatile. And I think there's room for him here. I agree with like, I don't think there needs to be, 140, 150 starts given to Andrew McCutchen. I think that might be a little too excessive right now. And he probably wants to find a place that can do that. But like you said, I don't know how many teams are going to be like, Andrew McCutchen, you're our everyday DH, and they're a winning team and they've got chances to go out there and win him a World Series. Like, the best fit seems to be like it's Pittsburgh. And it seems to be coming back in more of a limited role.
Yeah. I mean, I'll stand by it. I think his best intersection of, that Venn diagram of wanting to play as much as possible and wanting to win, Pittsburgh would be his best shot, at least in my opinion. So maybe they can work it out. I mean, I don't want to give the impression that it's, anything is irreconcilable or whatever. It's just, I was asked on whenever I did that November 30th, and that was how I felt the situation was at the end of November.
Yeah. And I'll say this, like, I mean, I love Cutch. I've got you hanging up behind me. I wanted to make sure we had you on to defend your honor. There were a bunch of people in the comments that was like, oh, Alex doesn't know ball. And I was like, Alex knows ball. And then going on foul territory today as well, basically just echoing the exact same thing that you said. So it seems to be pretty much a consensus among the people who covered the team in 2025. But it definitely made its rounds. That's for sure.
Is Cutch on the wheel? He will respond to you guys.
Are you sure?
Okay, Coach.
I don't know if Cutch is on the wheel.
He's not on the wheel.
Cutch is on the wheel. We should put
now I'll say this because someone did ask here also in the chat. Let me find it. Yes, Cutch no longer has me blocked. I'm not going to say we reconciled, but he found it somewhere in his heart to hit the unblock button.
Well, it's the only place he gets news.
We're not technically friends on Twitter, so I can't like DM him.
Yeah, so that's going to be tough. We would just have to. You would just have to tweet, "Hey, Cutch, how many ducks would distract you?" and see what he says.
I'm going to get a scroll. I'm going to write it. I'm going to give it to a duck. I'm going to send it to Cutch.
There's a lot of duck talk tonight. Did I miss something?
Well, that was the random question.
I know, but like, why are we so all over ducks?
We want Hodges back.
That's the quote for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay.
Anyways, Alex, we're gonna see you in Orlando next week, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Awesome. We're about to dive into some trade talk. So before we do, just your quick thoughts before you hop off. I mean, it seems like the Pirates are quote unquote good fits for just about every hitter out there. Are we gonna see something next week?
It's crazy how the offense without a lot of, good hitters in it is a good fit for a lot of good hitters. Like, there's not a lot of blocking a position. So no, I mean, I think this winter meetings is important. Not saying that they absolutely have to get a trade or a signing done, but I think it'd be a great opportunity to show the other 29 teams and also all those other free agents how serious you are about this upcoming year to make a splash, before the offseason gets too deep. So I don't know if anything's going to come of it, but that's just kind of where my mindset is.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to see you down there. I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about. And thanks for hopping on. Guys, you can find Alex's work on MLB.com or on Blue Sky.
Or Reddit, apparently.
Or Reddit, yeah. But also, in all seriousness, make sure you're subscribed to his newsletter. It's good stuff. Shows up in your email inbox every day. So make sure you subscribe to that.
Once a week, but I appreciate the plug, Kim Rosati.
There you go. All right. Thanks, Alex.
Love you, Alex. Sometimes.
Love you too, Tata.
All right. Well, that was fun.
Alex was mean to me earlier, so I had to be mean back. Alex called me short, basically, which is accurate, but I had to be mean back.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
No, I think the Cutch thing was kind of blown out, but I mean, Cutch tweets once a month, And when he tweets, apparently it's at you, DiNardo, every single time. He doesn't say anything except respond to North Shore 9 graphics on Twitter. So shout out to you for getting Andrew McCutchen to speak every now and then.
Can I do it?
And he speaks in puzzles when he responds as well.
Yeah.
He never really responds. News to me.
Oh,
it is
no,
always
it's
very
just
cryptic.
Never an actual answer to anything.
Yeah, it is.
But
cryptic.
that's why, I mean, I want everyone
That's
to
why you gotta
understand
love it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, if there's not anyone who can generate the talk of the day, again, like it wasn't even just us. I mean, everyone was talking about Foul Territory was talking about it. So he knows
you
how to get
also
things
got
started.
ratioed real bad.
That's okay.
Which is going to happen anytime Cutch
It's
tweets at
Andrew
you.
McCutchen.
But I just want to note this ratio. Your tweet, 313 likes. 313 likes. 109,000 views. Cutch's response, wow, that's news to me. Somehow his response has more views than your tweet. I don't even know how that's possible that you see the response more than the tweet. But anyway,
Like I'm not looking at this trash.
Yeah, 139,000 views, 5.8 thousand likes. He ratioed you by like 1,800%.
Is that all?
Yeah, that's impressive. That's an impressive ratio. I don't think I've ever been ratioed that bad.
Well,
So that
you
was
can't be.
yeah,
On, like, MySpace?
that's true. I think now that my account's suspended too, like I don't even think any of my tweets exist. Like I don't think you can even go back and look at any of my tweets.
Yeah,
I think they're gone. Like they're disappeared.
I haven't even
Oh,
tried.
gone. Yeah, they are gone. You can't
Like-
find anything.
I have no record of anything I've ever said on the internet ever.
I just see
There are so many people that would pray for that.
other people's tweets and they're clearly in response to, but I don't see the response. I mean, I don't see the original tweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're cooked.
I'm cooked.
Oh yeah, your account's gone. Blue sky. guy.
Yeah, it's not looking good, guys. I got a response from Twitter yesterday saying that like basically screw you. So I'm just gonna keep trying, but yeah, it's not looking good.
It's kind of funny.
Anywho, thanks, Cutch.
So winter meetings next week.
I'm excited.
I am too. And I think like to just kind of piggyback off what Alex said. There's been a lot of talk and no action so far by the Pirates. So you certainly hope that like something's about to happen. Because like they've got to do if you want to sign anybody or if you want to, I mean, really just signing. If you want to show someone, hey, like we're actually serious about winning here, like you need to do something that shows that. Like I don't know if Kyle Schwarber's a pipe dream, but like let's say even just the next person, Jorge Polanco, right? Like does Jorge Polanco want to be the first person to sign with the Pirates? And be like, all right, well, hey, I'm putting all my eggs in this basket that the Pirates are going to be adding a lot this winter. If I'm a free agent, I'm not agreeing to anything until like all this talk that I'm hearing is shown to me. So I think this is an important winter meetings because I think this presents Ben Cherington an opportunity to make not only an impression, but like a statement of, hey, you know, all that noise you've been hearing for a month now, it's real. We're going to go out there and we're going to get better. Now, it's going to take him executing something, which he hasn't really shown he can do very well. Like he's going to, but there's a lot of players out there that seem to be getting shopped around right now. And if Ben Cherington wants to be taken serious, he needs to land one of them.
Do you think maybe it might go a little bit further if they make a trade first and maybe show those free agents that, hey, we're pushing now. So like, is that the order that this needs to go in? Because I think you are kind of right there, Jim, where nobody wants to be the lone soldier going out there and saying, I'm going with the Pirates. Anyone coming with me? Nobody wants to be Lane Kiffin jumping on that plane with no offensive assistants going with you.
Yep.
I'm
I'm
glad
with
you brought that up because I thought the exact same thing. Like I feel like that's what's going to have to happen first because, like you mentioned with Polanco, I mean, anyone like the only person that's probably going to come over is like your Tommy Phams, the guy who signed like a 1-year deal. The Pirates are offering, let me go ahead and take that because the money looks right. But are those guys going to entice Jorge Polanco to come here, or is a trade of all these guys we're going to talk about tonight make Polanco now say, okay, you know what? I see the vision now when I come, right? Like you're better, but now when I come here, now this team is looking pretty good, right? Once you add me and now the money's right, let's go ahead and do it. So I'm 100% with you, Ty. I think like the winter meetings is like a trade of some magnitude has to happen. There has to be a catalyst. There has to be like that.
You got to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, I would say like oddly enough, because at the time, like he didn't look as sexy per se, but like that AJ Burnett move, you know, like you need to make a trade to then get people to come in.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tyler. I think you need to use this next week to land a quality player via a trade. Like just figure out a way to like make it happen. And that shows because like this is the one time of the year too. This is the baseball offseason. I mean, let's face it. It sucks. It's probably like one of the worst off seasons out there. You look at the NFL, you look at the NBA, like the second free agency starts, it's like just a madhouse, just like a complete zoo, right? Whereas in baseball, everything's dragged out. It takes forever. You never know when something's going to happen. There's all this chatter. It's just slow moving and boring at times. This next week is like the one time when people are paying attention. Like MLB Network is there, set up in the lobby, doing live shows. They're interviewing all the general managers. They're interviewing all the managers. They're like, this is Major League Baseball's off-season showcase, right? And if you want someone to notice what you're doing, next week is the time to do it. So yeah, go out there, land one of these guys who are being shopped around apparently, and then that shows the world, hey, this Pirates team might be doing something a little bit different. And then you go out there and you can sign some free agents. And yeah, like you're going to have to offer them the best deal. Like they're not going to just come to Pittsburgh because you traded for Stephen Kwan or whatever. Like you're still going to have to say, all right, like we're going to outbid everybody for your services. The problem is, you know, when the Pirates outbid people for their services in prior years, they still picked other teams because they just didn't want to come to Pittsburgh. So you need to give them another reason other than just money, because there are other teams out there who want good players. And if it's just like a slight difference, they're going to go to the place that is the better fit for them and gives them the better chance to win. So you need to show them that you're serious, and then you need to go out there and you need to pay some actual players real money.
Correct.
Well,
no,
all right.
I mean, I really can't add much more to that. Like, that's exactly what you have to do. I'm on the same page. Like, you have to make a trade, and I think Stephen Kwan's that guy. We'll get into the list of guys, but there are guys you can make a move for, and yeah, let's just get into the list.
Yeah, I actually like the way this put. So Steel City Sports Media, great comment here. Like the best way to make good players come to Pittsburgh willingly is to make good players come to Pittsburgh unwillingly. Yeah, right. like players can't really say no to a trade unless they have a no trade clause. But like if you make a trade, the player doesn't really have a choice other than to play for you. So like, go out there and
like us, damn it.
Yeah. So like, go out there and get good players that don't have a choice. And then you can go out there and you can convince players, hey, see, look, we're bringing real players in. But yeah, I want to get to this list because I mean, the offseason's underway. I mean, we've seen the last just couple of days, like stuff is happening. Some deals happened today. Cedric Mullins just signed a 1-year deal with the Rays for $7 million. So, definitely someone who would have been on the board of potential outfield targets. He's gone. Dodgers signed Miguel Rojas to a 1-year deal. Yesterday you saw ex-Pirate Cody Ponce get 3 years, $30 million from the Blue Jays. Devin Williams signing with the Mets. So yeah, like the offseason is underway, it seems like. But ESPN put out an article yesterday ranking the top 25 players who could be traded this offseason. And Mitch Keller was on the list at 19th. So we can kind of discuss that a little bit too if we want. But I want to talk about first, before we get to that, there's a lot of hitters who seem to be on the trade market right now that have pretty high chances of getting traded. And the Pirates are listed as fits for all these guys. Like Alex said, like if you've got a lot of holes in your lineup and you're a hitter and you're available via trade, the Pirates make a lot of sense. But first and foremost, I mean, number 2 on this list behind Skubal, Ketel Marte for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And, super reasonable contract, 5 years left on it, 5 years left on his deal, $91 million. He's been the 13th best player in baseball by WAR over the last 3 seasons. He's not super old. He's 32. He's coming off a good year. I think the Diamondbacks would want a lot for him because he is pretty darn valuable, but the Pirates are listed as the first team on here in terms of a fit, and ESPN says 40% chance of being traded. Ketel Marte.
Plain and simple, I will give up anything other than Connor Griffin. In the minor leagues, I will give up anything other than Connor Griffin to get a guy like a Ketel Marte. I don't really consider him in the minor leagues at this point, to be honest with you. But yes, in the conversation, I will say then Connor Griffin and Bubba. I will not give up those two. Rest of it, take your pick. What do you want?
He's been so good. Like I feel like he was always like a really good player, but he's like kicked it into another gear these past few years. 4.3 WAR in 2023, 6.3 in 2024, 4.6 in 2025. Like he would have been the best player on the Pirates each of the last 3 years. Not counting Paul Skeens.
Yeah, like I want to add something here. Like Martin Whitehurst says, I would not trade the top 5 prospects in the minors. Fellas, Ketel Marte is basically a walking all-star who's signed through 2031. Tons of control, super good. You're going to have to give up. That's why when Tyler brought up, Connor, that's why I want to throw in Bubba. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bubba, because, they're targeting pitching. That's what they probably want in return. Mm-hmm. And I know the pitching's strong, but it's not going to be like a Thomas Harrington to get Ketel Marte. It's not going to be your backup on my list, Antoine Kelly, since you answered. Like it's not going to be those types. That's going to get Ketel Marte. Like you're going to have to suffer. It's going to have to eat at you of what you're going to have to give up to get him. But you understand what you're getting is the best hitter this Pirates team has had since the other Marte that was traded.
So here's the question. First and foremost, Antoine Kelly is untouchable after tonight. Like you cannot trade Antoine Kelly.
How many ducks would it take to get Antoine Kelly?
Just a dude. But I mean, would you trade Seth Hernandez for Ketel Marte?
I don't. Not a question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really high on Seth Hernandez, but Ketel Marte is really good. Like you got to imagine if Seth Hernandez develops into let's say the number 2 starter that it kind of we think he can be. No, I mean even an ace, but like let's say he's a number 2 starter, which is basically reaching his ceiling, right? He's a 4 WAR player. Mm-hmm. That's what Ketel Marte is, and he's that right now. And he's not making a ton of money. Like his annual AAV on his contract's $14 million. He does have an option, like a player option remaining, but like this, and there's other money involved there, but That would be hard to say no to because you are getting someone who is probably going to be really good. Like, and that's the thing. If you acquire a player like Ketel Marte, what you're giving up for him is going to be painful. It has to be. Like, he's a really good player with a ton of years left on his deal. That's pretty cheap. You're going to have to give up a lot for him. I think it would depend for me, like who else is out there. Like, can I get someone who's almost Seth, almost Ketel Marte and not have to give up Seth Hernandez? I might prefer that. But like, if you're trading for Ketel Marte and the Diamondbacks want pitching, you're probably going to need to pony up some quality arms. And I think you'd have to. I think Seth Hernandez is also maybe too far away. Like, I think the Diamondbacks want pitchers like right now. Like, I think you're giving up like a Johan Oviedo and Braxton Ash. Like Ashcraft kind of seems like the guy who would sort of headline that deal. I'm with you, Murphy. And as painful as that would be, I love Braxton Ashcraft. But if it's like Ashcraft plus 2 more top 15 prospects,
dude, I don't see where that's painful whatsoever. I don't.
Well, I think Braxton Ashcraft's really good.
But Braxton Ashcraft's never going to be a 4-win pitcher.
He could be.
He could be. He's not.
He could be. And that's why you did this.
What you just said. Could.
Right. Exactly. Right. Whereas Marte is.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I agree with that statement also. Like in a heartbeat, I'm giving up Seth Hernandez because he's so far away. That's why you get that top pick and you make that draft in your situation. Like, use that.
Mm-hmm.
He could be really, really good, but you have Marte and you need it now. But I do feel like what the Diamondbacks want is someone who's closer. So again, like, I would do that deal in a heartbeat, but I don't think that's the deal that's going to be on the table if there even is one. But yeah, like, it's going to have to make you think. Like, I want to have Braxton Ashcraft here too. I mean, you salivate over this young pitching that's coming up, and you're going to have to part ways with it. But again, this is Ketel Marte. This is a 4-win player, middle of your infield, plugs in a huge hole, power, speed, deep. Like, he's just good.
Can I just say, like, we can't, and I'm not really just speaking for us, but just as Pirates fans, we can't sit here and complain about this farm system and what Ben Cherington's done, and then complain that we don't want to trade any of these guys that we have. Right. It doesn't work that way.
I agree.
We sit here and talk about how this team has to go in. They have to try. That means you have to give up some of these guys. Plain and simple. No ifs, ands, or buts. They got to go if you want to be good.
Yep. I'm with you. I think it depends on the type of player you're acquiring too.
Sure.
So like Marte, someone with 5 years of control, someone who's that good, like, it is going to be really painful.
Yeah.
The next guy on the list, similar boat, like the number 7 person on here with a 50% chance of getting traded, Jarren Duran. Another guy with 3 years of control, has shown to be a pretty darn good Major League Baseball player. Same deal, like, 13 WAR or so over the last 3 years. Like, that's another guy who, if you go out and get him, and the Pirates are listed as another potential fit here, you're gonna have to pony up for Jarren Duran. Like, the people who were saying Keller for Duran, it's not gonna do it.
No, if that was on the table, I'd take it right now. No question.
Well, it's not on the table.
Obviously.
Yeah,
look, it's another guy that I think you can make work. Like, that's a spot where you have the depth to be able to make that move. Do you think it's Keller plus, guys? Or do you think it's a prospect kind of list?
I think for Duran, it's going to be similar, where it's like an Ashcraft plus. Like, I think if you're going to deal for these types of guys, you're going to have to give them value in return.
Right. I didn't know if it would be a Keller plus. Like, they obviously don't know what the Red Sox are asking for, but is it going to be Keller and prospects, or are we just looking at a prospect type of trade? Because it does make a difference on what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. And I want to add this because, I mean, there's a lot of ties about Keller, right, being a good fit with Boston. But now they got John Lester. Like, I don't know if that means Keller's still in play. And I understand it's Boston, but, the money. Like, I don't know. I almost feel like John Lester's there. It's going to be like a 1 year. Like, maybe they're more interested in like a Braxton Ashcraft type opposed to a Mitch Keller at this point.
I thought John Lester was a baseball.
Did you say John Lester?
I'm sorry, Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray.
Those two
I'm over here
pitchers
like,
couldn't be any
hold
more
on,
different.
They both pitched for St. Louis at one point.
I'm like,
I
John
guess.
Lester is old.
I know. But why not? John Lester, are you aware? Suit up, report to spring training in a few
I was
months.
say if the Red Sox are planning
Sonny
on
Gray.
John Lester, whew, they need Keller if that's the case. No, but
Yeah, my bad.
no,
Sonny
you're good. You're
Gray.
good. You're good. I'll say this: with the Red Sox getting Sonny Gray, I think Keller makes a lot less sense for them. And if they were going to deal someone like Duran, it's going to be for more value. Like I said, I think Ashcraft plus is what you'd have to give up for Duran, similar to kind of what the Marte trade would look like.
Done. Make it.
Plus,
I'm burning this farm down right now.
Hey, I mean, if there was ever a time to do it, it's now. That's true.
In all reality, yes. Like, if you're gonna burn it down right now.
Yeah.
Now, let me add this here, because this is like where I worry about this type. Now, what are you doing with Keller? Because also, like, these guys are costing some money. Keller's still here. Like, is a Duran or a Marte enough for this team? Still think you need some more. And if you're looking into trading Keller, that weekends. So, like, again, that's I'm with you. Like, in a vacuum, I'm doing this, but I worry what that means for Keller still, and then there's rotation.
That's why the other people on this list, I'm targeting them more than I think these two guys, because I think you still want to have the flexibility to trade Keller if you need to free some money up. And if you trade Ashcraft, or if you trade Oviedo, if you trade Burrows, like if you trade two of those guys, like you can't trade Keller at that point. Like you will need Keller, because we're debating right now on if you need Keller right now just to kind of get through this season. If you trade any of those guys or multiple ones, like trading Keller then turns this rotation into a, how are we going to fill 162 starts?
Right.
So like, I think those two top guys, Duran and Marte, like if you can maybe get them without having to I don't think it is possible to get either of those two guys without putting a major hit on your rotation going into 2026. So I think you've got to look a little bit further down this list at number 10, Stephen Kwan. Like I think Kwan's probably like, and you talked about him on Bucko Brew Monday, but Stephen Kwan, 25% chance of getting traded. So the lowest odds here out of anybody we've talked about. But Kwan is a guy who would immediately come in. He basically, instead of a walking 4 WAR player like Duran, he's a walking 3 WAR player. The offensive upside isn't necessarily there, but he provides you a ton of value in other areas, and he's still like capable at the plate. It's not like he's not bad at the plate. He's just not Ketel Marte or Jarren Duran. So he's got 2 years of service time left instead of 3 or 5. So like there's a little bit just less value with Kwan. And I think you could land Kwan in almost like a similar deal that we saw last year with Horwitz. Like I think you could do like an Oviedo plus or a Burrows plus for Stephen Kwan.
I feel like it's going to cost
far off.
more.
I think it's going to cost more than what last year's was, but like I don't think it's too far off. Like I'll say it's not going to be a package of Connor involved or like Ashcraft. Maybe
I don't think you would have to give up Ashcraft. Like I think you could give up the next level of guys, so like Burrows or Oviedo, but then add more to it.
I feel like the talks might start with Ashcraft. It might be like, we want Ashcraft, and then you come to an agreement. Which, if it's Ben Cherington, you start with Ashcraft and you end up with Bubba. So,
I mean,
right.
I'm over here banging the drum on Stephen Kwan all offseason here, and I know we talk a lot about how this team needs power. I think in the same realm, They need a guy who does not strike out 30% of the time. And having a guy who puts the ball in play the way that Stephen Kwan does, and I know he didn't have a good year last year, but he's still, I think, an above average hitter. Bad year last year, I get it. Good defender, plays a position they really need. I think in a weird way, he fits a mold the Pirates need. I love Stephen Kwan. I'd love to have him. I don't know how much he's really going to cost. Like if it's Burrows plus Ashcraft plus, I'm listening very, very heavily.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even more of just listening. Like I am aggressively pursuing Stephen Kwan.
That too. And I think there are good odds he does get moved. Like the Guardians are really talking about pushing to move him.
And they need pitching because, well, they lost.
Their pitching's all been suspended for life.
Speaking of that trade.
So I think
run it back.
I think Kwan's somebody you go after. And I understand like there's some people in the chat saying like, I don't want Kwan. He doesn't have any power. Well, like, yeah, that's right. He doesn't. And I think you can get power other ways. But like Kwan addresses a huge, pretty big hole in your lineup. Your left fielders last year, Pham and Canario combined for negative WAR. If you can immediately flip that to 3 to 4 WAR, that's a big impact to your team, and also a big impact defensively. Like Stephen Kwan's a Gold Glove left fielder. He's basically, I think he's won 4 Gold Gloves in 4 years. Like he will win a Gold Glove next year. But that only helps. And that only helps your pitching staff, which, you know, that's the bread and butter of this team. No matter how much you add to the offense, you're still going to have to rely on the pitching to win you all your games. So,
and what does he do? He helps out their pitching by having that great Gold Glove defense. And
I like Kwan. I like Kwan a lot, and I think if you could, like, I think you could get Kwan for like Burrows plus.
If that's on the table, it's done now. Make it.
Yeah. No, I said a good bit about it Monday on Bucka Bruce. I'm not going to go too deep, but everything that Tyler just hashed and said is like why I'm with it. Like he just is a good fit. And I understand he's not the thumper. He's not the big bat, but he stabilizes. He adds an element that you don't have. And what we just talk about, the trade is what's maybe going to entice the free agent. So that's where you go get maybe the Polanco, which again is not like a huge home run guy, but for a second baseman, he certainly is. So again, that like the Kwan could be the catalyst to the next piece, which now you're adding your power.
Yep. Next guy, kind of a similar, I think probably a similar value here. I think the Cardinals are asking for a ton, just the last I've heard. But like Brendan Donovan is another guy who has 2 years of control. ESPN saying a 75% chance of getting traded. Pirates are listed as a fit. Versatile. He can play first. He can play second. He can play short. He can play left. You can really put him anywhere. He can play third. So like you can play right if you want to put, like he's just real versatile, and he's just been a professional hitter ever since arriving. Like this is kind of one of those Cardinals devil magic players where I mean a 7th round pick out of the University of South Alabama, actually same draft as Travis Swaggerty from the exact same school. Goodness gracious. So the Pirates draft Travis Swaggerty first round out of South Alabama. The Cardinals pick Brendan Donovan in the 7th round, and Brendan Donovan has 10 WAR in 3.5 seasons, and Travis Swaggerty just not. But yeah, Donovan's a guy who I like a lot too.
Is he not the ideal Pittsburgh Pirate just based on what they do with him? He plays everywhere. He can hit. He's that late round draft pick. Like he is a Pittsburgh Pirate. The problem is that he's with the Cardinals right now, and I just can't see that move happening. He would be great. I'd love to have him. But you mentioned it there, Jim. Like it's gonna cost you something, and there are other options, I think, as well. No complaints here. I would take him in a heartbeat. It's just the cost might be a bit steep.
What I do like about Donovan, and I want to say like the mold of Donovan. That's why I brought up like Ernie Clement, and I know he's on this list, and it's like kind of a long shot, but like who knows if they bring Bichette back, maybe he becomes available. But like what I love about like these super utility guys that have a good bat, also very strong with the glove everywhere you go, is like it makes the next step move. You know, you're not boxing yourself in. It's like, well, Donovan's a second baseman, so we have to find a third baseman. Like Donovan can play either or. So our nets are still wide open. You know, we can go from this pile or this pile to get someone. Like, you know, you don't have to find the perfect fit. You just find the guy that's willing to come. And then that's where you decide, Donovan, okay, we're going to play third base now. We're going to play second base or whatever. So, like, that's also why I do like maybe the first trade or like any trade, being a guy like him, because it just helps your free agency search, I think, even better.
Yeah. And I think from a value standpoint, like probably similar value wise to Quan, you know, he's definitely been a more consistent hitter than Quan. So, but yeah, you're probably still looking at a similar type of deal for Donovan as you are Quan. There is something to be said about the intra-division trade. Well, I mean, if the Cardinals are shopping, and then the Pirates aren't going to be the only team going after him. So if you are the Cardinals, like if it's even offers from the Pirates and say the Yankees, you're trading him to the Yankees. So you probably need to overpay for Donovan a little bit if you want the Cardinals to send him your way, because there's going to be other teams that are going to be going after him.
I just keep reiterating, like, if it's the guy that you want, go get him. Yeah. I'm not saying he is the guy that Ben wants, but like if that's the guy you're zooming in on, Ben, like, listen, I want Brendan Donovan, go get him. That's what it's going to cost. Like, that's your guy. Pay the cost it's going to take to get him. Don't settle.
I'm going to skip around on this list a little bit just so we stay with the Cardinals, but kind of similar. 16th on this list, Wilson Contreras. And it's an interesting name for me. 15% chance of getting traded. So they're thinking that it's not like super likely, but the Pirates are listed as another good fit.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Was this out before or after where he like more or less said like he's open to being traded?
This was
because that came out today.
Because he has expressed his desire to stay in St. Louis though, and with a full no trade clause through the end of 2026. Oh, so this was before. This was yesterday.
So I wonder how that changes things now.
Yeah.
But either way.
Now, I'll say this, even if you're willing to waive your no trade clause, I'm not waiving it to go to Pittsburgh. So that's the issue here with a guy like Contreras, or, you know, some people we were in the Discord today talking, and like Buxton came out and said that he was willing to waive his no trade clause. Like, if we're talking about making a splash to get players to come here who don't have a choice, Wilson Contreras has a choice. Wilson Contreras can just say, no, I'm not going to Pittsburgh. I'm staying right here. And I think it's going to be a difficult sell to Contreras to get him to waive a no trade clause to leave St. Louis to go to Pittsburgh. Wilson Contreras, out of everybody, is very well versed in the fact that the Pirates suck. He's been playing against them his entire career and just beating the crap out of them.
So this is going to be the first one on the list where I'm like, I would not be opposed to getting a Wilson Contreras whatsoever, because we could take any single good hitting player ever and be okay. But he's a first baseman and DH. You have Spencer Horwitz. You got to bump him over to second at that point. 17.5 AAV with Wilson Contreras. I don't know if he's the best clubhouse guy of all time. He doesn't really seem to be loved everywhere. And if I'm paying $17.5 million for a guy coming from the Cardinals, I'll probably have to, like you said, I'll have to overpay for it. Plus, he's got to agree to come here. The fit's not there for me.
That's fair. I agree.
I've been saying where I don't hate the idea of maybe getting a first baseman, because again, I think the Pirates are in a situation where it's like they can't be picky. They need bats, get them, and kind of figure it out later. And if Wilson Contreras comes in, like I don't hate the idea of sliding Spencer Horwitz to second base, because ultimately, also if you think about it, like I understand the defense isn't going to be great at second, but was it last year? Was Nick Gonzalez good? I mean, he was actually pretty bad defensively. Is the back going to be better than Nick Gonzalez? So, like, I feel like value-wise, you're probably still going to upgrade second base by doing this. It's like I'm not opposed to it. I just don't know if Wilson Contreras is the guy I want to add in order to do that move because of all the things you said too, Tyler. Like, I mean, this guy basically went after his own clubhouse. And I mean, he has 2 L's in his name. That says it alone, right? So, again, I wouldn't hate it, but I don't think this is also like the perfect fit.
Yeah. I think Wilyer Abreu is also on this list. 50% chance, Pirates listed. We've well versed on Wilyer Abreu. We were kind of targeting him all trade deadline too, and a potential trade with Boston. I think Abreu, now that he's, one more year of control. So you're looking at 4 years of control for Wilyer Abreu. I like him. Like I would welcome Wilyer Abreu in this line. All these guys, I would be like, yes.
Right. That's the problem, is that
here.
anybody that's a good hitter will take.
Yeah. And so if he's like your backup to Jarren Duran and he can be had for less, then maybe. The thing with Abreu is like all those years of control. The 4 years of control gives him kind of a lot of value. And I think if I'm Ben right now, and if I'm Ben, I'm going after the guys who maybe they're not this type of player. They're not the 4 years of control guy, because you do have to give up more, because there's going to be some other names on this list where it's, there's 1 year and you can get these guys a lot cheaper. So I think for guys like Abreu, Abreu may be too valuable for me to go. Like he's not good enough of the, like he's not, you know what I mean? Like he's not the Ketel Marte. Right. He's not the Jarren Duran. He's like a step below those guys.
Yeah.
Where you'd still have to give up a lot for him because it's 4 years worth of him. Is it worth it to give up that for like basically a 2 to 3 win player? Let's call him a 2.5 win player, 3.5, at his ceiling for 4 years. Like, do you really want to go after him when there's other options available to you where you don't have to give up a lot and they can help you for 2026 and then they're gone?
Basically, what you're looking at there is you're paying for value over time when the Pirates are in a position where they need to pay for value right now. Which is why, like, other guys that are like 4-win players, 3-win players, even the guys that are on the Abreu track of 2 to 3-win players, like a Stephen Kwan, might be a little bit more valuable because it's going to be a short burst. Go get it now. With Abreu, like you said there, you're going to be paying for his age, basically his age 30 season. By that time, Paul Skeens is gone. Who really cares? By that point, this thing's going to be burnt down and rebuilt. You got to go after it right now if you're doing it. So if you're going to do that, don't get the 10% above average offensive player. Go get that 40% above average offensive player who's probably going to suck in 3 years. But we're trying to win right this second. And maybe that's a little bit extreme, but
windows.
Right. So, speaking of that player, I mean, Darnard, unless you want to add something about Abreu.
Well, no, what I want to add here is, like, Jim, you make a good point, because I agree with you that I think the best direction, again, like I would love Ketel Marte, I would love Abreu, right? But I just feel like the Pirates aren't afforded the opportunity. Like they don't have a bunch of prospects at their disposal that they can trade away, if that makes sense. You know, like it seems like all the players that have the value are guys they kind of need now. You know, we're talking about the Ashcrafts. We're talking like there's not too many just prospects. You know, it's not like you're going to say like, hey, here's our number 5 prospect, number 4 prospect, because like those guys are basically needed today. You know, so like I understand like you're getting value today, but you're also giving away value today. And it might still make you better, and that's fine. But that's why I do agree with what you're saying, Jim. Like I feel like I would much rather be comfortable with let's keep the Ashcrafts as we can. If not, like it is what it is. But like you can't keep giving up all these players. Let's maybe try to get someone who's going to be a very good need right now. And maybe we're giving up our number 7 prospect. We're just passing up Antoine, going to the next guy and give him up. And that way it's not much of a hurt. It's still a prospect. So, but someone far away, it's not now. Like that's what the Pirates don't have is a bunch of good prospects sitting in the minors, not ready to come up. You know, it's funny. The best one is still a teenager in Connor Griffin, but like he's gonna be playing next year. So yeah, like I just do. I feel I would love a Abreu, but I feel like it's going to cost so much of what they need right now to do so. Just kind of fill pieces.
Which brings us to the next guy. Next 2 guys. Let's just lump them together. Let's go to the Tampa Bay Rays, who just signed Cedric Mullins to a 1-year, $7 million deal. But the Rays have 2 guys on expiring deals. They're coming off a season where they weren't that good. They're in an AL East that is difficult to win. Definitely not completely like the Rays aren't a rebuilding team. They're more of like, you know, the Rays operate in kind of like a reload type of just that's how they operate. They reload. They don't really rebuild. Yeah. But Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lowe, both on expiring deals. Brandon Lau, by the way. I like both of these guys. They can both hit. Yandy Diaz, I've wanted Yandy Diaz for a while.
Right.
He's cheap. He's on like last year of his deal. I don't think you'd have to necessarily like give up a ton. At the same time, I don't think the Rays are just gonna like give you these guys either. Like the Rays usually get what they want. That's how they've been able to become the Tampa Bay Rays. They don't operate under windows. They operate under, hey, we're just gonna always be good, and we're gonna do it in a smart, efficient way. So they've got these 2 guys, Brandon Lau and Yandy Diaz, both on expiring deals, both not making a ton. Lau's making $11.5 million. And Diaz is making $12 million. Yeah. $12 million.
Yeah.
Diaz last year, 135 weighted runs created plus. By the way, Diaz has a club option for next year too that vests automatically if he gets 500 plus plate appearances this season. So just something to keep in mind. So I could see the Pirates acquiring Yandy Diaz and then putting him on the bench at $4.99 or something
$4.99.
Like that. and then Lau's at $11.5 million. Lau last year, 114 weighted runs created plus, 1.7 WAR. Early in his career, he was sort of like injury riddled, but I think he's kind of shown over the last 3 years he can stay on the field a little bit more than he has previously. But if you're looking for power bats and you're looking for guys who can hit the ball, both of these guys kind of fit the mold. I mean, Diaz isn't like a big bopper, but he hits the ball hard and he hits for average. He slugs with a bunch of doubles. If you're looking for that first baseman who could move Spencer Horwitz off of first base, or if you're looking for a DH, you know, Diaz may be that guy.
I'm with you. Full stop. Period. Like that's the guy.
Yeah.
Because he just does everything. He adds power. The guy does not strike out. He makes good contact walks. Like he's just a good hitter.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, both of them, I'd be more than okay with. Both of them would do a lot for this team. And also, you don't have to give up a ton. Yes, like you said, like the Rays are going to get who they want. But at the same time, like, let's forget about the Chris Archer trade for a second. at the same time, they don't really get a ton of what you would immediately consider value. Down the road, it looks like crap, but immediately the trade will probably look pretty good for the Pirates if they were to make one.
They'll trade Sammy Stafora for Yandy Diaz, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's a hell of a deal." Then the next thing you know, Stafora is like a 6'4" shortstop.
Yeah, but I mean, in all reality, we're talking about expiring contracts. What can they really get for them? To me, it makes more sense to keep them, but that's not how the Rays operate.
The one thing you're going to have with 1-year deals is you're going to have a lot of teams in on these guys. Yeah. Like if the Rays are like, "Hey guys, we're shopping Yandy Diaz and Brandon Lau," a lot of teams are going to want those guys. And so
small markets helping small markets. Let's go.
So you're just going to have to outbid.
Every baseball podcast that's doing the show tonight is talking about him right now.
Yeah, so you're going to have to just outbid everybody else. And again, I don't think the Rays are necessarily going to give up these guys.
Right.
Like you're going to have to give them something that they want. Because I don't think the Rays are just like
they'll also be very specific at what they want. And you might think you have a better package, a la Josh Bell back in the day.
Right.
But they're like, "No, we want that guy." And you're like, "What?" And then that guy turns out to be,
I could also see the Rays hanging on to these guys to the deadline.
Yeah.
They do weird stuff.
They could do that. Because that would give them the opportunity to figure out, hey, are we going to be in it or not? So
yeah,
but both of those guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Robert269, Bucca fan, becoming the newest member on YouTube. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Robert. Going through some other names, we're already an hour and 10 minutes into this, so I don't want to spend too much time. But let's just quickly, CJ Abrams listed as a potential Pittsburgh Pirate. You've got Jake Cronenworth listed on here. You've got Alec Boehm listed on here, and then also Jeff McNeil, who we heard last week as well. So all these guys, I think, like I said, those people, Jeff McNeil has an option for 2027. So, definitely kind of more of an affordable, and the Mets might be able to eat some of his money.
Also just had thoracic outlet surgery.
That too. Like there's definitely some red flags there. But I think you could probably get the Mets to pay a lot of his salary. And I don't think he would cost a whole lot just because of that. But again, red flags. Boehm, similar. Like I feel like you could pry Boehm away, but Boehm doesn't give you a ton of offensive upside. He definitely would, like, he's a major league third baseman. So like he would shore up that position, but you're not talking about a ton of offensive upside there. CJ Abrams is interesting because, like, I just don't know if he's a good fit for the Pirates, though.
Yeah, he seems like he'd fail really hard here.
I like the type of hitter that he is. Like, he doesn't. I don't think there's a ton of upside with CJ Abrams, like in terms of like power and stuff. But I think he's got a high floor. He hits the ball, hard enough. The launch angle isn't really there. So like, but like he's the power kind of has shown up the last few years. Like he hits like 15 to 20 homers a year, steals bases. Like he can be that catalyst, like maybe like a number 2 hitter or something. But I don't know where he fits necessarily on this team. Cronenworth, though, I could be talked into Jake Cronenworth. I think
I could too. I think.
Wow. Okay. I kind of feel the opposite way right now.
Why's that?
You don't want to take a trip to the Crone Zone?
So what's funny about Cronenworth is we were talking about him after we had that great season. I think 2021 was it?
He's had 2021 and 2022 were both really good seasons.
Well, I'm saying I think it was after 21 because we were talking about like him as a potential trade chip and such. I think it was 21, if not 23, but regardless, I liked it then. And the thing that I liked it then was, it was 3 years ago. Now, I don't know if I like it so much. Just like where he's at, the cost, because I think we were trolled a little bit, like, oh, why do you want Cronenworth that contract? This and that. He's not that good. He's old, whatever. And it's like, no, he's good. But like, we're not getting those 3 years now. they were with San Diego. Like, we're getting the back end of that contract and that deal, and you might tell me like, oh, well, you're Ketel Marte talk, but I don't look at him the same way as I look at Ketel Marte. Like, I don't know. Again, I'm not going to hate it. Like, if they got Cronenworth, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's terrible. What are you doing, Ben Harrington? When like the best thing you've ever done is like bringing Connor Joe. So like, I would take it, but I don't know if I love Cronenworth.
Yeah,
I think why. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm correcting myself. I don't think I want Cronenworth signed through 2030, $11 million a year. I think I would rather just go after one of those Rays guys we talked about that are shorter term, maybe overpay for them and do that.
I'd definitely rather have those guys. I think what I like about Cronenworth is the Padres are in a position right now where they're probably looking to just dump salaries. Cronenworth at the $11 million a year, I think he's a good enough player that he's worth that, but he's also going to be paid $11 million per year. So he's not going to cost you a whole lot. Like, I think the Padres, I don't think the Padres are getting a whole lot for Jake Cronenworth. And so if the Padres are just looking to just shed some money, Cronenworth's a guy where they could, not necessarily give him away, but like they're not getting much in return for Cronenworth. And I think he can still hit. Like, it's not like his numbers have dipped in any way. His offensive numbers last year it was his best offensive season since 2021. So like, they're not really going anywhere. Projections don't really seem to love him. If you're looking at like Steamer, they are expecting a bit of a dip offensively, but I don't know. He's just kind of shown that he's a professional hitter. He can play second base, and he can handle it relatively well. I mean, hell, he even played some shortstop last year, which, didn't even go that poorly. Like it actually went pretty well for him in his limited time there. So I think you could kind of look at him as like almost like Brendan Donovan, but not with quite the upside. Maybe as Donovan,
so I think if you're looking at Cronenworth, you have to get a little bit creative where if you make that move, you have to be prepared to deal him in a year or two. Because if you hang on to him a little bit longer, you're probably going to be stuck on the hook for that.
Tyler, it's the Pirates. They're prepared.
I know, but like, this is where you have to act like the Rays. Like, if you take on that deal, you get what's left of him, and you got to move him right before he's out of gas.
Yeah. Similar batters to Jake Cronenworth, by the way. 2024 Spencer Horwitz.
There we go.
On that list. So, yeah, I think he's just I think he's a good hitter.
He's solid,
and
I'm not denying that. I have more worries about him. That's all.
Yeah,
I think
it's not like it's an
aging
egregious cost,
curve,
but for the Pirates, it's kind of egregious.
The aging curve could definitely hit him, and the contract makes it a little bit more risky for sure.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat as you guys. Like, I think if I'm targeting people here, my number one is Kwan. Like, I'm going after Kwan. I'm going after
the Kwan train, boys.
I'm going after Diaz. I'm going after Lau. But I think 1 and 2 would be Kwan, Diaz if I'm looking to like make a big splash on the trade market. The top tier guys, Marte, Duran, I just think they're going to cost too much. But I think Diaz and Kwan are kind of in that sweet spot.
Yeah, I do like Diaz a lot.
I think Kwan,
and I think the addition of Diaz and Kwan is like just a good fit. Like, just contact guys. Obviously, Diaz gives you the power too, but yeah, professional.
And neither are expensive.
No.
All right. Let's talk about Mitch Keller real quick before we wrap up.
Sure.
He's also on this list. He is listed as the 19th. He has a 60% chance of getting traded. Rangers, Astros, Angels, A's, and Mets are listed as fits there. Today, though, ESPN put out another article with a mock trade saying the Pittsburgh Pirates should trade Mitch Keller to the San Francisco Giants. And their ask should be top prospect Bryce Eldridge. Now, I feel like that's like shooting for the stars there. I don't think Mitch Keller is worth Bryce Eldridge. If you can get Bryce Eldridge for Mitch Keller, I think you make that move. But I can't imagine the Giants being on board with that.
I'm not on board with it.
Can I also agree with Tyler here?
I
Yeah,
don't
go
like
ahead.
that.
Let's talk this. So,
And I
you're
understand, like,
saying
he
you're
is
not on board with it from a
no.
Pirate standpoint.
I'm not. We're
Okay.
talking about a first baseman with swing and miss concerns. Who, I mean, yes, all things considered, performed in the minors, but he is the type of hitter to me who comes to the Pirates and immediately fails. He's not a fit for this team.
Can I add something to that? He's a type
Sure.
of hitter that is on a lot of teams and fail. Like I get it as a value aspect of the Giants will say no. But again, it's going back to the whole Yankees thing. Like, this is the type of hitter that I am not in love with. Just point blank. I am not in love with this type of hitter. So regardless of how far he's ranked, the value is there. I'm not saying, oh, how can I get my hands on Bryce Eldridge? Like, that's why I'm where I'm at with this. I get as far as the value goes, where the Giants would say no to this, but cool. I'm not asking for him. I actually don't want him.
And if the Giants are willing to make that trade, that kind of raises some red flags to me.
I think you're both batshit crazy. Like, you are crazy. Absolutely crazy. Because the Giants would never do this trade because Bryce Eldridge is worth so much more than Mitch Keller. So much more than Mitch Keller. You're telling me that you don't like the profile of him? He was 20 years old last year. We're not talking about 25-year-old Spencer Jones, who took 7 years or whatever to get to AAA while he was striking out 40% of the time in the minors. We're talking about a 20-year-old kid who skyrocketed through the minors, got to AAA at age 19, and just immediately started hitting nukes. Like, this dude is a talented player. He's not Spencer Jones. There's a reason why Bryce Eldridge is listed 19th according to Baseball America,
Jim,
and not
everything.
100th according to Baseball America, like Spencer Jones is. He's not this is the type of hitter that he is. Again, he's 20. He just turned 21.
Jim.
This is a guy who, if you can get Bryce Eldridge for Mitch Keller, I will drive to San Francisco and pick him up and drop him off at Pirates Fest so that everybody can welcome the Pirates' next 50 homer guy who's going to hit 300 homers, 200 of them into the Allegheny River. You guys are both crazy. Now,
Jim,
that's why this trade will never happen, because he's too good. So it's an absurd talk that we're having, but you two are both crazy. You're crazy people.
Jim, did the Pirates get a new developmental staff?
He's 21. Like, he's already there. He's major league ready right now. That's how good he is.
He struck out 35% of the time in 10 games and 30% of the time in AAA.
You're giving me a 10-game sample size.
He struck out 30% of the time in AAA.
You're giving he's
27,
20 years old.
28% of the time.
He's 20 years old.
Tyler. Back to my original point. Did the Pirates get a new developmental staff? Did the Pirates get a new developmental staff? No.
Absolutely insane.
Can the Pirates develop this guy? No. Zero shot. If this is a Mets podcast, sure, take him. This is a Guardians podcast, sure, take him. This is a Pittsburgh Pirates podcast. We know what this team does. That hitter, they do not develop ever. Never have, never will.
You're crazy. You're nuts. You're absolutely nuts.
They don't develop that. Zero shot. I'm not saying the guy won't be a good hitter. He can very well be one. With the Pittsburgh Pirates, zero shot. Zero.
Well, there's zero shot because the trade's never going to happen, because that's an absolutely absurd trade that ESPN proposed there.
Not to mention just the risk.
Maybe
of
it's
it
not
in
absurd
general.
because they know They know.
Sure, they do. Absolutely absurd. Do you want me to throw out a realistic Mitch Keller trade for you?
Maybe one that
And I
doesn't
think-
have a.
I think Pirates fans are
21%
going to be
whiff rate.
pretty I think Pirates fans are going to be
Percentile.
upset about it, but I'm kind of high on the guy, and I think it makes sense for both parties to do it. Mitch Keller to the Mets for Ronnie Mauricio, plus like a upside
You
reliever.
love Ronnie Mauricio.
I love Ronnie Mauricio.
I don't.
I think you stick Ronnie Mauricio at third base. He would become a good major league third baseman. Plays good defense. You can play him at shortstop if you need to. He's cheap. You got him for 5 years, and there's your third baseman. You got him. Now, people are going to say that's not enough for Mitch Keller, but I like Mauricio.
I feel like that's about where you're at. Like, I don't look at that and say the value's not there. It's close. It's close enough. Throw in something else to make it even, whatever. I just don't know if I don't know about that, Jim.
I don't like the player.
I get where you're coming from, and like, I don't know if the value is certainly all that far off. Again, like with Eldridge thing, it's not like I'm there with that. It's just like in this situation, I feel like I'd rather just take a prospect deal than him, if that makes sense. Go get your third baseman. Or take that, you know what I mean? Like go get your third baseman, take a prospect deal for Mitch Keller instead of
Ronnie Mauricio
doing
is
this
your third
trade for
baseman,
him.
is what I'm saying.
I know that's what you're saying. I'm saying I don't want that.
That's fair too. I think I think it's completely fair to not want Ronnie Mauricio.
I do not want Ronnie Mauricio.
I think if you give him every day at bats,
There's maybe something there.
I think he's at least I think he could be a 2.5 to 3 WAR player at third base.
I'm just not willing to take that gamble.
Fair. I just don't think you're getting what you hope out of Mitch Keller. I think we are overvaluing him on the trade market. But again, I think that's why it makes a lot of sense to keep Keller. Like, I think Keller provides you a ton of value, but I think if you're looking to trade Keller, I think that's about as good of a fit as you can get.
I would trade Ronnie. I would acquire Ronnie Mauricio for Dennis Santana, not Mitch Keller. I don't want this guy really. Which
You don't
yeah,
want
you like him.
do.
I don't.
What about
I like Mauricio.
Beatty for Keller?
I don't see what you like.
I mean, look what he's wearing. He likes awful looking things.
I just don't see it.
He's got
there,
black and
but-
gold on with a white and blue checkered shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What a
I think this
toss-up
guy's
hat
a.
indoors.
I think this guy is going to be bouncing between AAA and the major leagues within the next year, and that's where he's going to be for 6 years,
Okay.
bouncing back and forth.
Yeah. And that very well could happen.
Yeah, it could. I mean, yeah, that's the way it goes with trades. But Jim's high on him. I'm not. We'll find out what happens.
Anyway,
And I'm basing that off of a glance at Fangraphs.
Anyways, you guys are both nuts. I just want to.
Oh, no.
I just want to end
No.
with that.
you know what? I hope that the Giants and Buster Posey are off the rockers and they make that deal. And he just, I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Eldridge, for your involvement in this, but I hope you crash and burn just to prove Jim wrong. I always.
So if we got Bryce Eldridge, you would
Mhm.
root for his failure.
Yes. Hating you trumps everything.
It's a bad
Yeah,
fan.
I think I would have to as well.
It's a bad fan.
He was very
bad.
he would
fan.
very easily move into the bottom of my favorite players that I would bitch about every
See,
day.
for me, it would be Antoine Kelly number 1, Bryce Eldridge number 2.
Yeah, I like Antoine Kelly.
Bryce Eldridge probably would never even respond to us.
He's
He's like, you know what? I don't even like ducks.
just start calling him Big Country.
Big country.
All right. Do we have anything else to say?
No.
No, Jim or Donardo's got a big game to play.
I do.
All right,
Next
Next week, though, let's kind of talk about that. So DiNardo and I will be in Orlando Sunday. Winter meetings officially start Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be when pretty much everything's happening. Draft lottery, Rule 5 draft. We'll have, obviously, lots of chatter all week long. Sherrington will be there. Kelly will be there. You'll see him on MLB Network, all that. But we will, we'll be down there giving you winter meetings coverage just like we have the last 2 seasons. So really, really excited about that. When we do Bucko Brew on Monday morning, we will be live from the hotel that winter meetings is being held at. So, yeah.
Yep. The Swan and Dolphin, baby. And Tuesday night, the draft order is being determined. We're going to be live on playback. So like how we did for the Dodgers World Series, like we did for the Cy Young with Paul Skeens, I think it's going to be Tyler, Ryan, and Cody, since we're not obviously going to be on the stream.
Might just be me.
But Tuesday, watch us for the live stream of the draft order being proposed. It's not?
No, it's not.
Where's it at?
It's like the Hilton Waldorf something. It's like some brand new Hilton hotel.
I thought it was a Swan and Dolphin. That's where it was
No.
before.
No, it's
I
not.
thought this whole time it was a Swan and Dolphin.
It's at Disney World. We're like actually going to be
Yeah.
on Disney grounds. Yeah.
Oh,
I need to see if there's a slide.
we do. Well, there's alligators. You're getting eaten.
If the Pirates trade for Bryce Eldridge, I will sacrifice myself to the alligators.
Let's do it, Tyler.
Let's make the deal.
I need to get
Time to make the
Buster
deal,
Posey's
boys.
drink.
All right, let's
All
get
right.
out of here.
We're out. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.